Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CNCF project updates. My name is Constance Caramanolis, and I have the pleasure of being one of your co-chairs for the KubeCon Europe 2020 virtual. So it's been a long time since we've gone all together, and there has been a lot of progress. And what we're going to be talking about today is just a small subset of all the project updates that we have. So get your hands ready because several projects do definitely deserve a round of applause. So let's start off with Argo. Argo is a set of Kubernetes native tools for running and managing jobs and applications. It's subscribed to the GitOps paradigm, such as continuous delivery and progressive delivery, and enables ML ops on Kubernetes. Now, this has been a big year for Argo. In April of 2020, it became an incubation project. This is where everyone should be applauding. And so not only achieving this milestone, but it did have a lot of features, a lot of large features that came in. Within the continuous delivery subproject, it relates to the GitOps engine. The GitOps engine packages core functionality into lightweight and reusable library. Within rollouts, it has several new integrations. It has integrations with Istio, Nginx, AWS ALB, and the SMI for Canary updates and analysis. Now, what I really like about the next two feature updates is that it doesn't come across as a shiny new feature, but it is very important, and we need to give a lot of recognition to those who do. Sometimes what we view as the grunt work, right? Refactoring, test codes, working it. So workflows, right? Within the workflows, they rewrote the server and UI components. It's not always a new feature, but this is always this type of work is always important to continue to deliver a healthy code. And within the events, it refactored for simpler CRDs and improved the user experience. So let's talk about Spire and Spire, right? It is, an open source standards for security identifying software systems in both dynamic and heterogeneous environments. Now, in June of this year, Spiffy advanced from sandbox to incubation, which is, an evidence of their growth, adoption, and evolution. But not only that, too, there have been improvements, right? There's been improvements to the client libraries, Envoy integration. There's also enhancements of the Kubernetes automated workflow registration, which makes it possible to plug in Spire as a source of identity, either natively or otherwise. There's also federation support, which now enables Spire deployments to span the boundaries of service meshes and different cloud providers. Let's give them a round of applause. Now let's talk about Contour. Right? Contour is a Kubernetes ingress control, which provides support for the Envoy control plane. It reached incubation status in July of 2020. And it's been also a busy year in terms of releases. There have been 6 releases since December of 2019, with their major one being 1.1. Now, what has been included in some of these releases? One has been automatic TLS certificate rotation for Contour and Envoy. So no longer do you have to have an alarm telling you to rotate your certificates 10 days before, 5 days before, 3 minutes before everything expires. Those fire drills aren't fun to live through. Another one is TLS client authentication. Personally, the nerdy part of me really likes this because it can be really difficult to set this up on your own. So it's really awesome that they added this. And also just improvement in terms of better support for manipulation of the headers from requests and response. Right? We all know that sometimes this isn't the way, however they're sent isn't the way that we want them to be. And so being able to support manipulating this after the fact is really, really awesome. Give Contour a round of applause. Now, for our next project, Tikvy. Tikvy is a distributed relational key value database. But before we talk about the technology and the improvements there, let's talk about the community. The community has had amazing growth. It has 239 core contributors. It has 7,700 stars, and it has just under 1,000 production users. There's also been several SIGs created. This is to better address the needs within the project. Some of the SIGs that are created were coprocessor SIG, engine SIG, graph SIG, and transaction SIG. But now let's actually do a little bit of talk about the performance and functionality. There have been major improvements to this. One has been, in the performance aspect, has been a unified thread pool for storage, read-write requests, and coprocessor requests. Another within performance has been the follower read. It provides strong consistency reads for Raft followers. And then also for functionality, fast backup and restore. really cool, right? It allows distributed physical backup and restore from Tikvy for large clusters with tunable speeds. And also, we can't forget about security. In the last set of, this year, they've also added transparent data encryption for Tikvy. So let's give them a round of applause. And for our last project, Jaeger. So Jaeger this year turns 5 years old. That is amazing, right? Now, one thing that that has been talked about within the Jaeger community earlier this year has been embracing open telemetry. There is a really lovely blog post talking about direction, and so these first two, big project updates really highlight that dedication to the embracing of the open telemetry project. So first thing has been that several Jaeger backend components have been recreated on top of the OpenTelemetry collector. Another is that the storage implementations are transitioning to the OpenTelemetry data model. But not only that isn't all about OpenTelemetry, and that it isn't all about OpenTelemetry. So the next thing is actually what's really cool, is that with Grafana 7, it directly integrates with Jaeger to provide interaction for metrics, logs, and traces in one tool, right? And I think that's, we always struggle in terms of having our different data points be in different tools. And so this is a really awesome integration. Now that is it for our CNCF project updates. Thank you, everyone. Remember that this is only a small subset of all the projects that there are. So don't forget to check out your favorite project and to learn some other ones. Thank you.